Okay, good afternoon, students. So today we will see some lab examples on constructors and their uses in Java. It has been already discussed in our repeat theory class also, so you should not have a problem. Okay, so we have 9 programs today with us. So the first program we will take is actually through Java program to demonstrate the use of the Java constructor. Simple constructor without knowing the internal details of what type of constructor it is, etc., etc. So let us call a class main. Actually, main, you see, this small class main is a keyword, so you cannot use that. But fortunately or unfortunately, Java is case sensitive language, so main with capital M in the beginning is actually acceptable as a class name. So anyway, we should avoid these type of names, but these are available in the worked out example. So we will continue picking them. So class main, where we have a private string name. Okay, it is a variable name of type string and it is a private. That means it cannot be accessed from outside the class. So now we'll create a constructor main. So obviously constructor will be of the same name, right? So then in this case, just a statement printing of constructor called, and then name will be assigned to a name string called my object. Okay. Then in the main function, where we have published specified main string address. So constructor while creating an is invoked while creating an object of the main class. So main obj equal to new of main. So this new of main statement actually calls the constructor, and then after that we will write system dot out dot println. The name is an obj dot name. So obj is object and name is the variable. So this name will be print. So what will be the output of this program is constructor called, and then name is equal to the name is my object. This statement will be print. So constructor call is from within the constructor, and then system dot out dot println from within the main the object name. Okay. Next program to show use of private no argument constructor. So no argument constructor, but it is of private. The difference between private and public no argument constructor will be explained uh, just after this program. So here also within the class main we declare an integer variable I, then we will start constructor with no operator. Obviously this time we call it private main. Okay. So I equal to within main constructor I set I equal to 5 and println statement private constructor is called. Then within the main function, please see public static void main string argument is written within the main class itself. Okay. So calling the constructor without any parameters, so main obj equal to new main. Okay. Here we are not passing any parameter. So system dot output println value of I equal to obj dot I, and the output will be private constructor is called, and then value of I colon I. So this was statement. So now what is actually private constructor? So look at this question carefully. So we have declared the constructor as private. Once constructor is declared as private, it cannot be accessed from outside the class. That means if you create a class object of the class outside this class, then this constructor is not accessible. So creating objects from outside the class is prohibited from using private constructor. Here we are creating the object inside the same class. Hence the program is able to access the constructor. However, if you want to create objects outside the class, then we need to declare the constructor as public. Okay. Please remember that here we call it private constructor. So the main function which is calling this constructor must be within the same class. Here it is within the same class. But we may want to use some constructor from outside that class, that means a different class where the use of the particular class is required. Okay. In this case, public no argument constructor we will call. So next program is to show the use of public no argument constructor. So class company we will take. Here we get a string variable name. Okay. Then a public constructor which we call public company, and name is assigned to programming. Okay. Suppose any simple text you can print and it will say programming. Okay. Then close the constructor, close the class. Then actually this time the company class will be used within the main class. Okay, so within main class there will be the main function, and then here company will be equal to new of company. This time we are calling the public constructor. Okay, so system.out.println company name equal to obj.name. Okay, here also you can print some, here you can write system.out.println constructor is called etc. No meaning, so that's not written in. So this time company name will be programming, that will be printed. So this is possible because this time we have created the public constructor, and even if you don't actually mention the type public or private, it will be by default something in the middle of public and private, so it will be treated as somewhat public within the same package. That is the difference. We will come to the difference between public, private, protected and nothing mentioned in some other class, where we will see what difference it may come if we don't mention anything public, private, protected. So as of now you can think of writing nothing which will treat as public. Okay. Then next program comes to show the use of parameterized constructor. So we have studied that there are three types of constructor: uh, uh, default constructor, no argument constructor, parameterized default or no argument constructor. Okay, no argument constructor, parameterized constructor, and uh, copy constructor. Okay. So within the main class, see, we create a variable string. This time it is languages. Okay, languages is a string variable. So constructor accepting single value. Okay. So main string lang. So main in this case is a constructor name which is accepting one variable parameter lang. Okay. Within that, languages equal to lang. Okay. So whatever string we will pass, it will be assigned to the variable languages of the main class, and then system.out.println languages plus programming language. Okay. So first we will print language. Whatever language you will pass as constructor parameter, that will be appended by the text programming language. Okay. For example, if you give Java as a variable, then output is Java programming languages, Python, then Python programming languages, C, then C programming languages. Okay. So class is over now. Now we'll have constructor is over. Within the same class, we can use my main function, and then the main obj equal to new main, and then parameter passed is Java. Then main obj to new main Python, new obj 3 new main C. Okay. So here, except creating the object, we have done nothing. But within the constructor of the object itself, the uh, string output statement, that is string class statement, is displayed. So the output will be displayed accordingly. So next program is to show the use of default constructor. Default constructor means if you do not declare a constructor, then also initialization is required, which is done by the default or automatic constructor. Okay. So suppose there is a class main, then integer a is a variable, boolean b is a variable. So integer, I have already studied that there are some default values of integer. Default value is 0, boolean default value is false, etc., etc. Within the main function, we create an object of class main. Okay, so main will be equal to new of main. Please remember, here we have not declared any constructor function. So then also it will be initialized to the default value. So if you give system.out.println then default value, then out.println a equal to obj.a and b equal to obj.b. Here what output you will get is the default values of a and b. So a is integer, so a will be 0 and b will be false. So these are the two output. Next program to demonstrate constructor overloading. So this is a very important feature. You can define multiple constructors in the same program. So string language within the class main, we have a string language. Then this dot language equal to Java. This dot language means this is same as simply language equal to Java. Okay. So this time the language variable is within the main default constructor. There is no argument constructor. The language is Java. Then I create another constructor of the same name. See, this time this particular thing is called constructor overloading. Same constructor name, because constructor cannot have any other name except the class name. So the name can be overloaded, but here parameter list is different. The first one is no argument, second one is string, one argument string language. Okay, this time this dot language equal to language, or if you are in a confusion, you can create call this as a lang. Okay, this will avoid the confusion. You can call them lang. Okay, so whatever you will pass as a lang parameter, that will be assigned to the language name. And then public void get name. So get name is a function that will simply display the language name. Okay, so system.out.println programming language equal to this dot language. Whatever language will be specified, it will be same. Okay, so now we run the program within the main function. So first obj1 equal to new main. Here you see I am calling the no argument constructor. Okay, so this new main, if you don't specify the parameter, then it will be automatically whatever is specified by the no argument constructor. So this particular constructor specifies the language to be Java. So output of this statement, when you print obj1 dot get name, you see obj1 dot get name, then obj1 dot get name will give you language equal to programming language equal to Java, because default no argument constructor is specifying Java. And then within next main obj2 new main, this time the parameter passed as Python. Okay, so if you give obj2 dot get name, this time programming language colon Python will be the output. So we get two different outputs for two different parameter calling. Next program, the demonstrate constructor overloading for calculating volume. Same constructor overloading for a different problem. So class box. So we have a class called box. Box can be of any shape or type. Box can be of different types. So double width, height, and depth. So we have three parameters. The 3D box, that is 3 dimensions, width, height, and depth. LVH. So then we call the parameterized constructor for passing three values. So double W, double H, double D. Okay, these are the three parameters that we are passing to the first constructor. So width equal to W, height equal to H, depth equal to D will be assigned. So whatever parameter you pass to this constructor, that will be assigned through the width, height, and depth. Then we give another constructor, that is the no argument constructor. So here width, height, depth equal to 0. Please remember, even in the default constructor also, that will be automatically 0. Here you have specified in the no argument constructor equal to 0. And then we keep another parameter, so double length. This time only one constructor, where width equal to height equal to depth equal to length. Okay, so this time, so all the three parameters are equal. So then double volume. So we create another function called volume, return width into height into depth. Okay, so we have three different constructors specifying three different properties of the box. So in the first case, width, height, and depth may be different. In the second case, everything is 0. In the third case, everything is equal. Now we call this code what is called driver code. This piece of code where the main function actually exists. The main function exists. This is called actually driver code, because this is the part of the program which actually will run our program. Okay, so public class test. So as the name specifies, the file name should be not box.java, it should be test.java. Please remember. Okay, so within the main function, create boxes using various constructors. Okay, so box mybox1, mybox2, and mycube. You can call it mybox3 also, no problem. So box mybox1 equal to new box, where we pass three parameters 10, 20, and 15. Mybox2 will be new box. It will be calling the no argument constructor, and mycube will be because all sides are same, then it will be called a cube. So my box where parameter will be 7. Okay, so double volume. So volume is a parameter. So vol equal to my box 1 dot volume and print the volume is volume. Okay, so my box 1 dot volume should represent multiplication of 10 into 20 into 15, whatever is the output. Then get volume of second box. So volume 2 equal to my box 2 dot volume. So it should be volume of the my box 2 is actually 0 into 0 into 0, as volume is L into V into H. So it will be 0. Then volume of cube. So in this case also vol dot my cube dot volume. So in this case printer volume will be 7 into 7 into 7. Okay, so we get the use of three different. Here we get operator, sorry, constructor overloading for calculation of volume. The next program we see is constructor chaining. Okay, here what is done is constructor chaining within the same class using this keyword and changing order of constructor. Okay, so here we call a class temp.java. Okay, so temp is the first constructor, default constructor 1. So system.out println default. Okay, so temp. Okay, first default constructor. Then parameterized constructor temp text first constructor 2. This is the second constructor int x. So where system.out this actually. So this actually will call the so what is does is this is actually invoke the default constructor. You see temp int x, but it is not doing any initialization. What it does is int x, so x will be passed, but it is initializing the, it is calling the temp constructor. This particular function will actually call the temp default constructor. Okay, so default constructor 1. So it is calling default constructor 1. This statement is calling default constructor 1. Okay, then system.out.println x. So we can print the value x. Then parameter control temp int xy. So this then 5. Okay, so this time this is constructor 2 because this is calling, see this, then I am passing 5. I am taking two values but passing 5. What is it? So what this is doing is this is calling the second constructor. Again second constructor is calling the first constructor. So you see first one is a default constructor, it is with no parameter. Then second one is one argument constructor, but this is calling the first constructor. In the third constructor, it is calling the second constructor. Then second constructor within itself again will call the first constructor. Then system.out.println x into y, multiplication of x into y. Then within that new temp 8 and 10. Then you can see the output what actually it does. Okay. Last program for today is to demonstrate copy constructor. Copy constructor I have discussed in our theory class also. So let us demonstrate for rectangle. So rectangle int length in breadth, then constructor to initialize length and breadth, say length vector int L and int B. So length equal to L, breadth equal to B, then it initializes the rectangle. Then I define a copy constructor where object is passed, it is a rectangle. Okay, so rectangle obj is be passed. So obj will be initialized first, then it will be initialized to this constructor. The system.out.println copy constructor invoke. Then length equal to obj dot length and breadth equal to obj dot breadth. Okay. So whatever length and breadth was initialized to the original obj, that will be created to the second object. Okay, that will be passed to the second object. Then there is another method integer area returning length and breadth. Okay. So I use a different class copy constructor. Within that we have a main function. So rectangle first rectangle to new rectangle 5 and 6. So first rectangle is calling the first constructor. Okay, then rectangle second rectangle to new rectangle first rectangle. Okay, so second rectangle is assigned to be equal to first rectangle. Is the first rectangle is assigned to 5 6. Then second rectangle is assigned to first rect, whereas first rect is assigned to 5 6. Ultimately second rect is also assigned to first rect. Okay, so system.out.println area of first rectangle is dot first rect dot area. So we will give some area of first rectangle, that is 5 into 6, that is 30. Then area of sorry, this will be system out the println area of the second rectangle. This will be second rectangle. Okay, so second rect dot area. So second rect dot area. So it will give you the second rectangle area, but which is actually initialized to the values of first rectangle itself. So it will ultimately be same as 5 and 5 into 6, that is 30. Okay. So that's all for today. So do you have any doubt till now? Then be frank in today's programs. Students, please be frank. You have any doubt in today's programs? Anybody? Please respond in chat box. You have any doubt in today's discussion? If not, then go and execute the programs. You will get the output and you will be clear. So I call the roll. So Unkumuni Demari present.
Present, sir.
David Remo. David. Vitul Kumar.
Present, sir.
Lukno.
Sir, David Rima present.
David present. Lukno, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Neha Sharma.
Present, sir.
Neil Raton. Sarkar.
Present, sir.
Prasenjit.
Present, sir.
Soidur.
Present, sir.
Pradip.
Present, sir.
Wilson.
Present, sir.
So today I don't see Changling, right? So Changling normally otherwise remains present, but he is not present today. Anyway, ask all your batchmates. I repeatedly ask you to ask all of you to be present, because otherwise clearance problem may arise. Okay. So once we update in the ERP, we even cannot modify the update attendance. Okay. So please be serious. Okay. That's all for today. See you next week, and please try to execute the problems and submit the assignment regularly in the Google Classroom. Okay. Thank you. That's all for today.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.